What he has left over here. His warrior's gone. He lost with Druid. Warlock and Priest. I'm assuming Warlock. What do you guys think?
Yeah, just go with Warlock. Like, it doesn't even matter which Warlock it is, I think. It's just such a powerful deck.
Yeah, it can 3-0.
It definitely has the potential to bring him back.
Yeah, I think if it's Zoo, you're actually happy to play it, which would I am a little surprised he went with Warrior in the beginning of the game 2 as well. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like with Warlock available, it's a great choice against Druid, no matter what version of Warlock we see.
I'm very agreed. And it
It's
is
handlock.
handlock.
Cool.
You're right.
Well, you know, he saw Big Game Hunter, right, in Druid, so maybe he feels like this Druid is well equipped to face off against it. But here's the thing. Does Yhone know that this is handlock, and does he know to keep and search for Big Game Hunter?
He might mulligan wrong here.
I would guess it was handlock if I was him, because if you have Zoo, you want to play it into Druid. It's pretty hard for Druid to actually deal with it.
True.
They have to have an insane start, so...
Oh, you're right.
I would definitely consider that I would mulligan as if this is handlock. And normally I mulligan as if something's Zoo.
No, you're so right, Artosis. I think that little small hesitation in the series actually gave him almost all the intel he needs.
Yeah.
What do you think about the Warlock hand right now?
Twilight Drake is awesome.
We'll probably drop Mortal Coil there.
Yeah, I would drop Mortal Coil. I don't think that's too useful right here.
I actually keep Farseer as well. Because Farseer, actually, I might even consider...
Just keeping the whole thing? Or?
No, well, I say dropping Soulfire, because I don't think it's that necessary, honestly.
Yeah, I could see you dropping Soulfire here. The only situation in which I could really see it used is if he silences your guy and doesn't kill him and you want to kill that or something.
Right.
But I would trade in because of hero power anyways.
Sure.
So...
Like, you knock out his Keeper of the Grove at 2-4.
Yeah, but, I mean, if you're using 2 cards out of your hand for that, that's not what handlock's meant to do.
Yeah, precisely. So I think dropping Soulfire is appropriate.
Agreed.
And the thing is, you're going to be on the coin, so on turn 3, you can't life tab. You're going to be forced to play something. In this case, it's going to be Ancient Watcher. And I think Farseer is appropriate as well.
Oh, with the Molten here and Twilight Drake. It's not terrible at all.
Hey, Artosis, I wanted to ask you a question, or even Dasis, feel free to chime in.
Yeah, sure.
Do you feel like against Druid you can coin life tap?
Okay, I do coin life tap sometimes. I was actually practicing a lot of handlock about a month ago.
If you're in a situation
I actually had some rules in my head about when to coin life tap.
Oh, yeah? Some,
I think it's a situation where you know it's going to be like let's say that you have no 4-drop, and your Warlock, it'd probably be a good idea to coin life tap. You need to have some kind of 4-drop play.
Okay.
As Warlock.
Oh, well, he does have a couple of options here.
Wow.
Well, I think since you have Mountain Giant, there's no need to coin out the Twilight Drake whatsoever.
Yeah.
And you just play Ancient Watcher and wait patiently.
Absolutely. Looks like Alon does agree with you as well.
Yeah, that's basically the only play there.
So
and this is looking pretty good for Alon now, at least for the start.
Yeah, it certainly is.
Because I got to say, like, game
one,
he had a rough draw on game 1, and that Druid versus Druid.
Yeah.
Do you like playing Mountain Giant or Twilight Drake given the choice?
Against Druid, I think that I'm so scared. If they know it's handlock, then they could have a keeper. And if they keeper it, it just, you feel bad.
So you get the Mountain Giant out first.
I like to play, like, I know Twilight Drake, like, my absolute rule is against Warrior and Rogue, I will always play Twilight Drake first. You cannot convince me otherwise. It is just, I feel like it's so nice to try to get rid of a lot of removal. But here, I do like this.
Yeah, especially to answer Sludge Belcher. You don't have Mortal Coil. I think it's really powerful. Not to mention, it's a big blowout potential if your opponent can't respond to it.
Well, he does have this very interesting Argent Commander, which we didn't really talk about a whole lot, but very uncommon card for really anything right now. No one really plays those at the moment.
Yeah, we saw in a previous series in group stages with Yhone.
Yeah.
I want to say he was playing RDU, and I think he was.
Yeah.
And we were making remarks how Argent Commander fits a really interesting pocket in the meta where it pressures classes like Warrior and even Priest.
Yeah.
But it's awful against Sludge Belcher. It's like one of the worst cards imaginable. You know,
yeah, go ahead, please.
Why not drop Argent? Just push damage.
Just get
into face.
I mean, you have Force of Nature.
Yeah.
You have silences. You even have
Argent's a pain to kill, so.
Yeah. I mean, rather than playing the cleanup,
Yeah.
Why not just make him play cleanup?
Good. Yeah, you know what? I like what you're saying here.
Ooh, Yhone's feeling a little pressure. He just squashed his opponent.
Wow.
Normally he wants to get into the emotes, but I think he feels the intensity.
Doesn't want to deal with it right now. Well, let's see what the options are. He's got Earthring Farseer.
This is a little bit
Shadow
tricky.
Flame could come in pretty handy here. Druid does get a lead here.
Yeah.
To just nuke the entire board.
This is actually one of the trickier turns I've seen with Handlock in a bit. He actually has quite a few options here. There is a lot of damage on board coming into him.
Yeah. Woohoo.
That's a good card for next turn.
Yeah, that's
really good against
good.
Argent Commander.
Yeah, makes quick work of him.
Yeah, I like it.
Get the Farseer out there, heal up a little bit.
Heals himself.
Oh.
I thought he was going to get the Mountain Giant, to be honest.
Pretty
I did too. Yeah.
And I think Yhone's happy to see that.
I would agree with that. Like, he doesn't have a kill coming up right now.
Right.
And for that to not heal the Giant, he can actually just kill that off using a Divine Shield.
The attack was basically a bluff here. Like, he acted as if he had the aggressive tools to potentially start pushing for a win, but we know that he actually didn't have any guarantee of it working out.
And it worked out very well.
Yeah.
We'll turn 7 here. That one taunt up. And we could actually use Wrath here. Do 1 damage there, draw a card.
Yeah, I think that's a great play, actually.
And then run.
Cycle that right through.
The Squire in there.
Well, he's actually got promoted. He's a commander now.
Yeah, yeah.
He used to be a
Excuse me,
squire.
commander.
He used to be a squire. But he put in the time
Now
and
he's
the
in
effort.
charge.
Actually,
Yeah.
guys, because I know all the card arts, the Argent Squire is a female and the Argent Commander is a male.
That is also true. That is also true.
So,
although maybe the squire's just a really young person. Like it's kind of ambiguous. You don't know.
Oh, whoa, wow, okay.
Interesting. So he's just going to try and continue to put pressure on. Oh, okay. He's just going to trade on the board.
yeah, it was kind of a middle-ish play.
Yeah, that was like a mix
That's
of
a bit
everything.
surprised.
It's like half removal, half
Yeah.
like board development.
Well, there's not a lot of things he can do right now since Lotheb's out here.
That's
What do you think about Sylvanas here, dropping Sylvanas? Or do you want to get the Twilight Drake out and just have a big, beefy Twilight Drake? You can try to taunt later on?
I don't really mind Sylvanas because what can you? I guess your opponent can trade for the board.
Well, here's an interesting thing. Sylvanas comes down. What is the best way for Drew to deal with it? Use Keeper of the Grove. And then you have Twilight Drake to follow it up the next turn.
Hey.
Twilight Drake doesn't get silent. Oh, well, okay.
Oh,
so
never mind.
Sorry. I got you guys.
Whoa.
I think he forgot that he squelched his opponent. So
But if you squelch
actually,
your opponent, you can still be.
no, they can't see it, right?
No,
Oh, I
if you
thought it
squelch
was
them,
only
they
one
can't
way.
talk to you, right?
But they can't see your emotes either, right?
Someone tweeted us, let us know.
Okay.
When you get to the bottom of this.
It's important.
Well, he seemed like he was sorry, but this is the first time I've ever seen remorse in a player for drawing Keeper of the Grove when it's appropriate.
Yeah, if he wins this, he's going to go on to the semifinals, which is just huge.
Oh, I don't know about Ragnaros. That's
No.
you're playing with fire.
I think he might be considering cleaning the board like completely, but there's no real reason.
Gotcha. Yeah,
I mean, we
he's
could
playing
see a
so
Shadow Flame coming out
defensive.
next.
You know what it is? It's because he doesn't have Savage Roar, so he feels like if he ever gets to the point where he can activate cards like Molten Giant, he's just going to get blown out. And he's right to a certain extent. But what does this communicate to the handlock players? Like, well, actually, he's just got nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in fact, with 3 cards left in hand, this Shadow Flame would trip over itself getting outside of my hand.
Yeah.
Coin
Yeah,
out
definitely Shadow Flame here.
Twilight Drake, coin Shadow Flame, and you are just like golden.
Well, actually,
Was
you
he
can
going to coin first?
Okay.
Well, that doesn't.
That doesn't quite make sense, but
Ooh, he made a little mistake there. He could
he
have
could
had.
have had 410.
Yeah. Which, with the silence in hand, actually wouldn't make any difference.
That's true.
But it is a fact. He could have
Yeah.
had it 410.
Just a small misplay there, but it won't impact this game too much.
Cenarius is an interesting draw. I don't think he has much impact in this matchup whatsoever.
What do you think about just Keeper of the
Usually
Grove?
it's-
I'm sorry, what about Keeper of the Grove? It just power up and run into him, clear
But
the board again?
It's a pretty weak turn. And then
It is a weak
Handlock
turn.
takes initiative. And that's where it gets really scary because Druid's supposed to be constantly threaten and kill. And Keeper of the Grove is one of the weaker turns. But what I don't like about Ragnaros is there's no good option. You hit the Drake, it doesn't die. It's like silencing it. You hit the face, he's actually back in Molten Giant range, and he can double Molten Siphon Soul. And it's like, well, actually, I just lose. And then Cenarius is for the same exact reasons.
Yeah, he doesn't have a really great play.
I guess you have to go with Cenarius then, wouldn't you? Is that of all the not great plays? Is that actually the
It might be the
the
best
best
one.
of the bad plays?
Because Cenarius will bait out removal options of some kind. He has his Siphon Soul, so he can't use it on Rags. It gets a lot of mana out of the way, and you don't even know if you want to silence this Drake in a way. Like, what if you need to get past Sludge Belcher?
No, exactly. If he sets up a bunch of big taunts,
That's a second keeper.
Exactly. That's tough.
And you can see, like, Yhone gets, like, the ideal scenario of, like, silencing the Drake, but he's not even happy about that because he floated 3 mana. His opponent is going to be getting closer to really powerful turns, like Molten Giant Soulfire here. Just like, well, what can you do?
It's pretty sick. As long as the Soulfire doesn't throw away Jiraxis or the Siphon Soul, you're so happy.
And definitely getting the Molten Giant out before he even becomes Jiraxis is going to be a really clean play. Assuming that Soulfire doesn't discard anything.
Can we get away with tapping before we Molten Giant here?
Going down to 15, if you're going to do that, you can,
You don't play around Force of Nature Savage Roar with an Innervate.
Yeah.
But is that something you can play around?
I don't think you should almost ever play around that. It's very rare situations where I think that's appropriate to play around a 3-card combo when your opponent has 3 cards in hand.
Lon looks like he's under a lot of stress as well. He's really thinking about all these possible. Like, I mean, he looked like he wanted to play his Molten Giant, but you do think, can I get away with tapping? Because the closer you get to Jiraxis, you start wondering about your follow-up to your play.
Oh. I was thinking about this, and I didn't actually mention it. Hellfiring and then using a Mortal Coil to hit the Keeper of the Grove.
That puts him exactly into combo range.
Yeah.
And look, he can actually pop out
man.
And he can't
play
play
any excuse me, I was going to say he could pop out the Molten Giant, but no, he cannot.
Oh, no. Like, now he just dies to a combo if his opponent has it.
Yep. Well, he only has half of it.
And he doesn't have that combo yet. You can see him shaking his head.
This is getting close, though.
I mean, I think you just...
What about Ragnaros here?
You slam down Ragnaros, right? Because what happens is you put him down to, what, 3 health? Well, and your opponent siphons souls back up to 6, and you Force of Nature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really good.
And even if he didn't have Force of Nature in his hand, putting Ragnaros out here, you lose so much tempo trying to turn into Jiraxis one turn. Yeah. You know, there's so much more damage that can be dealt there.
Yeah, precisely.
You're really close to getting killed off anyways.
He's using up 6 of his mana, 6 out of his 9 mana. The only way that it could go disastrously wrong. Why are you laughing, Artosis?
I know a good play for Alon if he does the perfect play here, which is what you suggested. If he goes Jiraxis, Soulfire, he has both in hand.
Oh, man.
But Soulfires try to discard other Soulfires.
Oh, you're right. And that actually is the play he has to go for if that's the case.
Yeah, he has to do it, and I think he will find that.
Well, I mean, what is Yhone thinking about? He's thinking about if he drops him down to 3, his opponent drops double Molten Giant, taunts both of them, and then siphons souls.
Wow.
Do you think he got the message across?
Let's see if nature, in fact, does rise against him.
All right, well, let's see this, guys. Okay, this could be Alon's last turn.
All right, well, obviously.
Molten Giant,
Molten.
Jiraxis, Soulfire.
Here we go, Jiraxis.
Is so insane.
Okay, now we gotta hit the double Soulfire. Keep your fingers crossed here. Is Soulfire gonna discard Soulfire?
It better not, or he loses.
No. Oh,
all right. Totally fine. And that
Twilight Drake is great. He's still got a shot.
Insane turn right there, guys.
Oh, right. I love games like this.
Holy crap, that's a good turn.
Yeah, but it's still not over yet. You just have to put on more pressure.
Yep.
He does have Innervate. He can stall for a while too with Cenarius, and you did lose 2 cards. You lost Siphon Soul, which hurts. Twilight Drake, which is meh. But he did keep Mountain Giant, which is also a liability. So
yeah, Mountain Giant's garb.
Post Jiraxis, this hand has become a little clunky.
It has, but it actually deals with things. He has a Siphon Soul still, right?
He has one
Siphon Soul. Yeah.
So even if Cenarius comes out, like, he clears it instantly.
Yes. And by that measure,
and he gets a 6/6 out, and then it's like, well, I got an 8/6 and a 6/6 and a weapon.
But then until he gets a taunt, this Innervate draw is actually key, right? Because the Innervate into the Savage Roar actually ends the game.
Very, very true.
Well, let's see if he actually does want to drop.
If he draws like a Sun Fury Protector next turn, man, he's going to take this game. You watch.
Oh, yeah, that's the key. I mean, he hasn't drawn his Defender of Argus.
No.
He hasn't drawn any of his Sun Fury Protectors or even his Sludge Belchers. Like, there's a lot of draws in this Warlock deck.
Yeah.
He's got it out of reach.
The deck is not that thick. He's going to start drawing taunts. And when he starts getting taunts out, this is just so deadly.
Okay, so he's going to go with Scenarios, I thought?
Scenarios
He's almost out of time.
Scenarios is his best play.
Okay, so he gets the 2/3 ants out.
Yeah.
Definitely he's not going to go for
even
the
if it gets
+2.
Siphon sold, you know, he's still, like, doing damage. He's still, like, taking a lot of mana. It's like he doesn't give his opponent the ability just to play cards. And Sludge Belcher is a big draw right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's huge. Still use Soul Siphon, though? Or Siphon Soul on Scenarios, though, you think?
Yeah.
And then just use the Belcher next turn. Get out, increment out these Infernos.
But there's still a 1-turn window.
That's right.
For the Savage
if
Roar
he
to
draws
come
the Savage
out.
Roar, he wins.
What does he get? What does he get? It is
No.
Shade of Naxxramas. Shade of Naxxramas.
I saw a 3-cost card and I got excited for a second. Okay. Now, is it still possible? I think if you charge Drew with the Claw, right? I mean, like, how much damage does he have? He's got 17 damage on the opponent's side. Yeah, you're not playing around that. You're just going to charge it right in there and try and pressure the
You got to
Drax
go
as
for
much as you
broke.
can.
That's it. You got to hope there's no taunts coming. Unfortunately for him, there is, and he already used 2 silences, so.
Yeah, he'll get that taunt up now.
But he has Black Knight.
Yep. But drawing Black Knight, that's a whole nother turn.
That's true.
But
You know
have to
what?
use your
You just push through as hard as you can. Your Draxus will still be down to 10 health here, so you just have to get a little bit of trickle damage past, and you're good to go.
Well, I
think he has to put down this taunt here. There's not another option here.
You're not going to win by playing the removal game against Draxus.
Yeah,
so
like
Drew the Claw, then put Shade of Naxxramas out here.
Absolutely. You just got to play everything.
And then just Hero Power.
You got to go for it.
And
whoa,
what's going on?
You know what? He's setting up for a swipe, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
That's
No. He can't swipe past if his opponent has taunt. Like, this is a play around Defender of Argus.
Wait, he didn't use his
hero
hero
power.
power.
Hero Power. Oh my God!
No, he can't though. He didn't have enough mana.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did. He actually had enough
He
mana.
used
He had
the
2
innervate
mana
to
down
have
there.
it.
He just what?
He had 2 mana.
He had 2 mana back there. He did not use it. He even
But
hit his
Drew
fist on the table.
Drew the Claw plus
+5.
Force of Nature is
It
11.
still showed 2 on the bar.
Yeah.
It actually showed 2. I'm so confused.
That's mathematically impossible. But I know what you mean.
It did show 2.
It did show 2.
All right, well, either way, Alond looks like he's gotten past it, and he's going to take game number 3.
That's right. It
All
did
right.
show 2 mana.
It did show 2 mana.
Hey, guys,
It showed 2 mana.
11 mana leaves 1 left.
Yeah, you're
even
right.
if you innervate.